disagree with me. Like, that's fine. That's just my opinion on it. People are really talking at star about Wolf and Valdez being biased towards Neeb. I believe they were comments. Maybe chat can back me up, but I'm pretty sure people were being. I think there were some people who were upset or something that when Neeb made a mistake, they weren't criticizing it as harsh because it was Neeb. And like, so, you know. They know they can't be tastosis and don't even try. Right? I mean, not everyone loves tastosis. I love tastosis, but not everyone loves tastosis. I mean, it's just everyone has different preferences, dude. But I have a bias towards players you like more than anything else. I can't imagine that. I think that's part of it. I mean, I can kind of imagine it, where it's you're just trying to be as unbiased as possible. But in those, like, especially in those situations, right? You know, like, I think you know, Rotterdam is a person that I think is pretty good at not being very biased, because Rotterdam has a lot of good friends that are pro players, I would say. You know, when I look at Rotterdam, you know, a lot of the pro players I would consider pretty friendly. At least maybe not as much anymore, but like he's really friendly with a lot of those players. So it'd be easy for him to really more or less be pulling for his friends, right? But he does a good job. I honestly never look at a StarCraft cast and say, man, I can't stand this, way too biased. Like, I don't think I've ever felt that. And like, especially in a situation like last night, like that was extremely unique, where that was just extremely unique. You know, pretty much all Korean event, nobody beats the Koreans, and then Neeb was on that run. You know, Neeb might never win another thing again. Since, you know, I sometimes wonder if the Koreans threw the Keswick Cup to invigorate interest in the foreign scene. No. No. Just pulling the I switched to Protoss. Dude, Drunken Boy gave me a run for my money with his Protoss. You guys see that? I was nervous. I was doing one of these. I was like, oh god, if I lose to D-Boy in this PvP, I'm never living it down. I thought that to myself. I put the pressure on myself because I was like, oh no, if I lose to D-Boy in this PvP after he's not been playing, I'm just gonna shut down the stream. That's it. I'm done playing Star. I retire. Doesn't want you to play outside of his job. How can you make that assumption, Panic Wrestling? Like, how do you know what Tasteless does? How do you know he's not laddering hard and just doesn't say it? Just because he's not as public about streaming or anything doesn't mean Tastosis doesn't like StarCraft or is passionate about StarCraft. Tasteless is really passionate about StarCraft, man. I mean, I don't know how you can tell me someone that's been doing that, you know, doing their job like that, don't love it, you know? Oh, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Day9 hitting us up with back-to-back subs. He's a part of the MCanning family. We know Day9's been hanging out much longer, guys. If you guys are new here, Day9 loves hanging out here. He's like, that MCanning, can't get enough of him. Can't get enough of him. You know, he's got me on his, he's trying to get me on his Christmas list. I say, Day9, I hear you, Day9. You know what I mean? Thanks so much, though, brother. Great to have you here. Part of the McCann fam. Ooh, we don't like that, do we? We don't like that. Need another overcharge. Come on now. Oh, we'll take that. That was all right. That was all right. You know, we'll take that. We don't really know what he's doing, so he's open Hellions, which means probably a Liberator follow-up, I would imagine. Probably a Liberator follow-up, because you gotta think about it. Not gonna be Widow Mines most likely. Not gonna be tanks most likely, because he's committed to that. So, you know, like, what can you expect here? You gotta think about it. You gotta think about what's going on in the game, and you say to yourself, what can I expect here? And when I look at this, I say to myself, he's open Hellions. It's not what. Okay, there is Widow Mine. Actually, that surprises me. Oh, I don't even need to. Ah! Oh my god! Nobody needed to die, and I let two bros die. My bad, bros. My bad. I want to get a sentry, of course. Because you don't get a sentry. Like, Guardian Shield is huge, you guys. Sometimes you guys underestimate Guardian Shield. Like you'll see Neeb and a lot of players, like, I'm going to switch spots as well. Because he's almost certainly... Can you get those guys? Oh, he can get these guys. You're dead. I knew that's coming back. You want to attack? You're just going to hang. I hear you. Just hang out. Yeah, I hear you. No, I've been there. Ooh, you better run away. You better run. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Hey, I'm alright with that. We need to get those dream representatives. So the thing that's interesting right now, you know, that's what's so awesome about StarCraft is there's so much that goes on. There's so much to analyze, and there's so much to go on. You know, my parents have actually gotten pretty involved. I mean, they watch a lot of my YouTube videos. They ask a lot of questions about, you know, StarCraft and what's going on. I try to explain it to them, and the more I explain StarCraft to them, the more I really realize how complex and how you know, really deep this game is. Right? It's like, there's so much going on. Like, I was just trying to show them a replay of a single game. For example, I mean, they watch my YouTube and stuff, and, like, I was just trying to show them a single, you know, I was trying to, because like, they, you know, they watch, but they don't really completely understand, you know? And, of course, it's a hard game to understand, of course. I get that. And, like, you know, I was trying to explain, like, okay, I'm going to scout right now, but then, you know, if I click on the gas and I only see one gas, it tells me something. If I see both gas, it tells me something. The amount of gas that is mine tells me something. There's so much that goes on in the game of StarCraft. And I'm thankful my parents are, you know, so supportive, of course. But it's like, you know, I'm trying to help them out, and I'm like, look, I can hardly explain this to you, and I play this game every single day. Like, it's insane. It's honestly insane when I think about this game. Which really what makes it special, because, like, so what I was... Oh, did I just make a double Robobay? Twice as nice is what I always say. Twice as nice. But, when I look at it, like, I say to myself... Oh, I thought I saw something up there. But, when I play StarCraft and stuff, like, you know, even just last night's games, I look at it and I say, you know, what's Neve doing compared to what Stats is doing? What, you know, what's the differences? What is one player doing? What is the other player doing? And what we saw a lot last night was a lot of the Koreans were going Sky Toss against Neve. They were opening Oracles. They were opening Phoenix. Neve never opened Oracles. He never opened Phoenix. He stayed on the ground all game long. All game long he stayed. He never went Stargate. Like, you know, it's just so many different things you can do, so many different choices. There's so much that goes on in a game of StarCraft. Like, you can't even, like, to the average person, I can't even explain it to everybody, because it's like, there's so much that goes on. Like, a lot of times you guys will ask me questions, you know, look for solutions, look for answers and stuff, and I'm just sitting here like, man, you know, I can't explain everything to you because there's so much that goes on. There's honestly so much that goes on that it's so hard to explain the game of StarCraft when there's so many different reasons of things, right? It's like, well, why did you go gate first? You know, well, I've been getting early pool. You know, it's like, well, you could actually probably be going Nexus first. Well, it depends what you're facing. Just honestly, so much that goes on in a game of StarCraft. And like, so I got wicked carried away there. But what basically my point was, basically all the Korean pro tosses are going. If you guys have been watching, always are going Colossus in PvT, right? If you watch any of those games, they're all going Colossus, and it's like, well, what is right? What is wrong? I don't know. I don't know what is right, what is wrong.
Glorious combat is upon us.
I think this is a double attack here, isn't it? Yeah.
The firstborn shall persevere. I have met the enemy. Glory to the Daemon.
He's got to be attacking me in my natural right now, doesn't he? You know, the thing about this is, like, he's open tanks, but it's only 2 tanks. Am I really actually worried about that? I'm not worried about that. You know, we're fine. See, so we saw that. This is all about vision. Once again, you know, you guys always tell me, MCanning, you know, I have a hard time beating Terran. I have a hard time dying to Dewdrops. And I said to myself, you guys just aren't getting enough vision. I mean, I had the watchtower. I lost the watchtower, so I knew he was over here. I had this part of the map. I lost that part of the map. That's how I knew this drop was happening. I try to explain this to you guys. Like, I'm not doing anything special. I'm not a very gifted player at all. I am actually just very average. But I just understand the game. I understand what's going on in the game. And I use my information that I'm given to give me more information. Like right now, I'm not worried about the top half of my base. Oh god, didn't mean to blink. You know? Like, am I worried about a Doom drop? Maybe I should be. But I'm not really worried about a Doom drop because I got all that extra stuff going on. I got the Warp Prism here. I got these bros here. Shouldn't have that many bros there. So we're just gonna take every single base he's got. How we talk at the same time? I don't know. I've got a bit of a... You know, that's why okay, so we see the Doom drop happening. I'm gonna section off my Adepts. I'm gonna bring the rest of my army. He's gonna scan my main. And, like, it's like, how do you know he's gonna scan your name, MCanning? I played this game a lot, you guys. I know there's gonna be he's gonna scan my main. That's just like what happens in these parts of the game. Here comes the scan. I'm gonna try. There it is. You know, it's like, look, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was gonna happen the first game I played. I didn't know Terrans scan you before they drop. But when I play a lot of games like this and learn a lot and learn more and more I learn, the more and more I use. You know, it's like nothing tells me that except the fact that I just play and I understand what happens in the game. There's another scan. He's dropping me. You can just tell because he scans. I should have more units in my base, honestly. I got my 2 disruptors there. I see something on my minimap. Okay. That was really good for us. Really, really good for us. Gonna go into double Stargate. Now I got a window here, right? His army's gonna be a bit weaker out here. He's actually got a pretty strong army. He's on 1-2, I'm on 2-3. So that's a pretty big deal. I'm gonna wait for these huge disruptors, and I think once I group up, I should be able to win, honestly. I'm following up with double Stargate, but I'm not really planning on needing Stargate, honestly. So once again, we get vision of that, we see what's going on. We can handle that a little bit more. So this is exactly a good point, right? I do this a lot, you guys see me do this a lot. Every time you're attacking, try to harass at the same time. I mean, DTs are a very simple form of harass, but think about how much harder this is going to be for him to deal with. If I'm attacking him at the front, and we're attacking him at the front, and he has to deal with DTs in his base. Very, 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 very hard for a Terran player. I mean, players in general, usually. Like, see, okay, so he's going to have to start worrying. I'm just going to chill up here. Because I know he's going to have to worry about all those DTs very soon. And it's going to be near impossible for him to keep up, honestly. So DTs are in his base. They're in all 3 bases. He's got no turrets. The game basically ends here. Now he feels like he has to attack me. He forces the attack. And this just stems off the DTs, and now we're going to get the GG. Because then he's realized you just can't hang on both fronts. And this, I mean, this stems from the early parts in the game. Well, that's not. That wasn't part of my game plan, landing that type of disruptor shot, but it just kind of comes with the job. It just kind of comes with the job. And the DTs, look at the DTs. It's just so obvious. 10 kills, 10 kills, 1 kill. Okay, 3 transfer workers. But they're just so... It's in that moment. Even if they've got turrets there, it doesn't matter if they have turrets. I don't care if they have turrets in those type of moments. It really doesn't matter to me at all. I look at that and I say to myself, you just kind of know. It's just it's a feel thing. You feel it. And just the extra harass, anything. That's what happens a lot in these Korean games, in these high-level games that a lot of spectators don't even pick up on. There's a lot that goes on in a game of StarCraft. Like, there will be, like, maybe a big disruptor shot lands, and you're like, what is this Zerg doing? What is this Terran doing? What is this Protoss doing? Why didn't they micro? Probably Warp Prism in the main. Single Adept. You know, there's so many, like, so many different notifications on your minimap as well, right? Maybe there's an Adept at your 4th base. Just one Adept, but then you look down for 1 second. Disruptor shot hits you. You look down for 1 second, you get surrounded by Banelings. There's so much that goes on in a game of StarCraft, and it's just a lot of small things where they try to pull you apart with knowledge. So I can let them die in the mineral lines. Make sure